Libya counts amongst the world's most water-scarce countries. Fair access to water for both domestic and business use is very crucial. Due to this, they are mostly dependent on groundwater aquifers because they lack natural water resources like rivers. It was getting pretty difficult for Libya to face water scarcity until they had an amazing idea. They planned to transfer water from deep aquifers in southern Libya to coastal communities in the north using a system of subterranean pipelines. And they launched a massive megaproject named the Great Man-Made River. You'll be shocked to hear that this project cost almost $27 billion. Building such massive pipelines wasn't easy, and the project is not without some controversy surrounding it. But before we unveil everything, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This project involves more than just supplying water. It also entails distributing it via a system of subterranean pipelines that span the Libyan terrain. The possibility of accessing subterranean aquifers was discovered in a feasibility study conducted in the early 1980s, which laid the foundation for this enormous project. To lead the project, the Great Man-Made River Authority was founded in 1983. It wasn't a minor undertaking either. The building process was divided into 4 main phases, each of which intended to supply a certain area with a particular amount of water. To reach freshwater resources hidden beneath the Sahara, wells had to be drilled hundreds of meters below the surface of the earth. As construction progressed, the GMMRP established new standards for extensive infrastructure. The project's objective, to guarantee Libya's water security for future generations, remained intact despite the new obstacles and victories that each stage brought. The wells were then to be linked to the coast by a pipeline network spanning 4,000 kilometers. It was intended for these pipelines to provide more than 6 million cubic meters of water each day. At the Sarir Aquifer in eastern Libya, Gaddafi announced the start of Phase 1 of the project and placed the first cornerstone in the mid-1980s. In order of priority, home, industrial, and agricultural uses were to come first for the water from the GMMRP. 1 cubic meter of water was expected to cost 3.3 cents for agricultural use, 5.7 cents for home use, and 57 cents for industrial use. The Libyan government provides all funding for the GMMRP, with 1% of public earnings being withheld for income tax purposes. The project's budget was estimated to have been between $20 and $25 billion, but it's unknown how much was actually spent. Although it hasn't been verified, the GMMRA earlier stated that the entire amount spent was inflated. According to a 2017 estimate, the project provides 2.5 million cubic meters of water each day, while the overall volume varies depending on national events that have an immediate impact on the operation. The GMMRA claims that the GMMRP's operational circumstances, oversight, and supervision were stronger during the Gaddafi era. The nation's military provided nationwide protection for all of the system's well fields and stations, from the water tanks themselves to the electricity and ventilation systems. But the problems they're currently facing go beyond finishing the 2 project phases that remain. Since 2011, political unrest in Libya has had an impact on nearly every area and facet of society. The GMMRA is one of the numerous governmental organizations that have been impacted by the unstable economic environment. Due to a lack of commitment by the relevant authorities and customs outlets, inconsistent revenue collection has resulted in repeated delays in achieving financial requirements, exacerbating the financial difficulties. Yet it's still moving forward in spite of the constant obstacles it has encountered throughout the years. They've even created a strategic plan with the goal of pushing the initiative forward to unprecedented levels. The important part of this concept, though, is that it goes beyond simply transporting water from point A to point B. It's a multifaceted strategy that prioritizes long-term water security while also taking economic and environmental issues into account. They're discussing how to optimize maintenance practices and guarantee the overall system integrity of the pipes. And it's a pretty good step, isn't it? A significant obstacle surfaced in 2019 during an intensified crisis in Libya. With the intention of taking control, Libyan National Army Commander Khalifa Hifter launched an operation towards Tripoli. The ensuing upheaval had an immediate effect on the GMMRA's ambitions in addition to upsetting the administration. The capital was cut off when armed men targeted the core of the water system. This, of course, had severe repercussions. An essential resource like water was abruptly turned into a weapon. exacerbating the already pervasive instability and endangering millions of lives. Handling a massive infrastructure project is one thing, but the stakes go much higher when something as basic as water becomes a weapon in a battle. As a result, the strategic plan was shelved. The GMMRA was forced to postpone its attempts to preserve and maintain the network's pipes. Residents of Tripoli, already trapped in the crossfire, were consequently left without a reliable source of water. How can one recover from that? After the offensive ended in 2020, the GMMRA was able to continue operations, albeit with some notable setbacks. As they hurried to get back on track, delays mounted. Clearly, the GMMRP has a lot of potential, but engineering alone won't ensure its success. The political and economic unrest in Libya has further brought attention to how vulnerable this important undertaking is. Over the years, the GMMRP has faced almost continual threats, including violent attacks during confrontations and simple mismanagement. This is a quintessential illustration of putting all your eggs in one basket. What happens if you drop that basket? Even though the GMMRP has accomplished a lot, it's becoming obvious that depending on it alone is unsustainable. Libya must adopt a more expansive mindset. They must consider other approaches to managing groundwater, which include re-examining desalination technology, which may aid in the diversification of their water supplies. Is that sufficient, though? Libya will need to investigate alternative, cutting-edge, possibly even unexplored technologies to meet its increasing need for water as climate change continues to impact water supply throughout the world. Everything was going well with this megaproject until recently, when scary news came to light. The Ajdabiya water pipe is a component of the Great Man-Made River, an intricate system of subterranean pipes and aqueducts that transport fresh water from prehistoric subterranean aquifers in the Sahara to Libya's coast. A few farms and houses in the northeast of Ajdabiya were inundated as a result of a water leak at Station 41, which is close to the Zuwatina area. Salah Al-Sadi, who is the spokesman for the Man-Made River Project Implementation and Management Authority, claimed it was due to pipelines developing cracks as a result of unauthorized water hookups, theft of copper cables for protection, and air valves. Al-Sadi proposed a 500,000 cubic meter estimate for the water leak. Far from Gaddafi's ambitious aim of making Libya's desert as green as the flag of the Libyan Jamahiriya, the Great Man-Made River has highlighted how vulnerable the country's water supply is, particularly in the face of continued political uncertainty. What was once a symbol of hope and self-sufficiency is now a harsh reminder of Libya's vulnerability in terms of water security. The Atlantic Council was forthright in its response to the situation. They noted that Libya's absence of a comprehensive water policy had resulted in significant water stress. This isn't a minor issue. It's a crisis that could jeopardize Libya's capacity to deliver water to its people in the future. Then there's Al-Taib's grim conclusion, which he shared with Newsweek. Water shortages are now a new reality for Libyans. What's notable is that the GMMRP's difficulties have served as a national wake-up call. Libya cannot continue to rely solely on this project to meet its water demands. Al-Taib made it apparent that alternative water supplies are no longer an option. They are a necessity. But here's the real kicker. Even the groundwater drawn from the Nubian aquifers, which appeared so promising, is a non-renewable resource. This signifies that the well will eventually run dry. So what comes next for Libya? Will they accept desalination or new technology before it's too late? Or will they keep treading water until their supply runs out? Let us know your thoughts about this Libyan megaproject in the comments section down below. If you like our videos, make sure to subscribe to this channel for more interesting videos like this. Until next time.